Hey everyone, so in this video I'm gonna explain how difficult Diabolic ClubStep is. I've already made this video almost a year ago, but that version is unimaginably outdated compared to this one. And this time, my explanations should be more clear because this time I'm gonna compare Diabolic ClubStep to allow this close in difficulty, and in this instance it's Tartarus. I have some pretty good progress in Tartarus, so like 35 to 84%, 45 to 96%, and I also got to 97% in practice mode in 3 attempts. And this level also was playtested by 2 people, but and those people are Darky and Eiruni, but Darky played the slightly easier version, which he estimated to be around Crimson Plan difficulty, and Eiruni played the version that, in his opinion, is top 3 difficulty, so harder than Zodiac. And this version is probably the same difficulty as the one that Eiruni played. So let's start. Alright, so the beginning, I think that the beginning is Tartarus is more difficult actually. Tartarus is just overall an extremely first half heavy level. The ship is probably a tiny bit easier than the respective one in Tartarus. The ships in the bridge drop of Tartarus are actually silent. This cube is extremely difficult, but as you can see, it's pretty consistent. This maze is a lot harder than the one in Tartarus, because this one actually has timings. And this is an invisible triple spike here, by the way. But the fact that it's invisible isn't so bad because it's pretty consistent. This wave, Eiruni actually said it's pretty easy compared to the rest of the level. Actually, compared to the rest of the first half. But I don't think so. I think that's one of the harder parts of the level. But probably easier than the dropship of Tartarus. I'm not gonna do practice run of Tartarus because the level is already on the servers and you can play it, and you can imagine the difficulty of Diabolic ClubStep if you do Tartarus in practice mode yourself. So another important thing is that the first half of Tartarus has a lot of triple speed parts, and that adds to the difficulty. While in Diabolic ClubStep there are barely any long triple speed parts. I mean, so it's more slow paced. And there are also no difficulty timings in this level. At least I tried to eliminate them. Alright, so this is one of the select few parts that are actually free. Because there is no way that I can make it difficult without making terrible play, so I have to leave it easy. This part is about the same difficulty as the wave, and maybe, just maybe, it's about as difficult as the respective parts in Tartarus. This is actually pretty consistent. This cube is a bit hard, but once again consistent. I think that the respective part of Tartarus is, I wouldn't say it's significantly hard, but it's definitely not as difficult. It's definitely harder, just not so much. And that's mostly because of the flat 46% with fixed hitboxes. Even this spam, I tried to make it as intense as possible, but still consistent, and it's still pretty easy actually. As well, especially isn't difficult. But I wouldn't say it's a lot easier than swing copter. Swing copter in Tartarus gets very consistent, especially if you click a lot of times. Even this maze, the timings look extremely strict, but they get really consistent. I'm actually surprised that I made them so consistent. This ship is harder than the cube between the swing copter and the UFO. It's a lot harder. And I think the entire second half of Diabolic ClubStep is slightly harder than the second half of Tartarus. The UFO is 100% harder than Diabolic ClubStep, because a lot of those spikes have fixed hitboxes, making the timings even harder. Pretty much this spike is the only one that doesn't have a fixed hitbox. But for example, this spike, the small spike inside the big one, is a bit lower than in the other spikes, so this hitbox is less fixed, I would say. The level might look extremely difficult in practice mode, but it's actually really consistent when you play normal mode. It's because of the checkpoint placements. This part is easier though than the one in Tartarus, but the upcoming parts definitely are more difficult. By the way, you can see 4 spikes there, and they're actually real. So as you can see, I just died, and that means you have to do control spam there. But it's not too bad. This ship gets invisible in the end, but the further you get, the more simple the gameplay gets. So in the very end, when you cannot see your ship at all, this is just straight fly. So just need to feel the click rhythm required for the ship to fly straight. This wave, I made a visual nerf in it because Eiruni said that it was too difficult to concentrate and too difficult to understand where you have to click. So I made a visual nerf. But I didn't nerf it. I didn't decrease the actual difficulty. It's not a secret way, you just die anyways. Like so. So this all of the parts in the second drop, at least most of them, are more difficult than the ones in Tartarus. This shift is a very good example. It gets consistent, but it's still a lot more difficult than parts in Tartarus. This part maybe to a lesser extent, actually. Perhaps this is easier actually. I'm sorry for making false decisions during the video. I didn't prepare for it properly. But anyways, this is easier than the respective part in Tartarus, which is from 75 to 81. So that part in Tartarus is more difficult. This wave is really tight, but it's harder than the parts in Tartarus. It is definitely harder than the ball, the UFO, and the ship. The ending is easier though. Oh. I just died 98. It's easier, but it can be more tricky. So this is it. 187 attempts while making commentary. Now, let me try to make another practice run, this time without commentary. And actually, I'm gonna do a practice run on Tartarus as well. So you can see the difference between the attempts. This is a bad one. Yeah. I forgot to say that mm, I forgot to say that the ship at 75%, which is basically just colorful straight fly. I forgot to surround the progress bar, so you can't see that. But I put some invisible orbs there, so it's a lot harder than it looks. And you have to kind of memorize the hitboxes of those orbs. 68 practice run, 68 attempts practice run. I think that's actually pretty bad because, as you can see, I got like 14% on my first attempt, and then it all went downhill. So this is unfortunate. Well, let's try Tartarus now. This is a bad one. Let's try again. The CFO sucks. You can't do that. This was a bad price run in my opinion. 84. I think I got even more unlucky in this pattern than the one in Diabolic ClubStep. But anyways, take into account that uh, I had a bit less practice with Tartarus and got unlucky. I think that even if I don't verify the Diabolic ClubStep in its current state, I can always make significant nerfs, and it will still be hard and bloodlust. So this is it. I hope that my explanations were actually clear to you. And thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.